Welcome back to the Hurley Pro here at Lower Trestles. Stop number 8 on the World Surf League Championship Tour. Heat 9 is going to be a big one. Filipe Toledo chasing down his second victory for the season up against the French rookie Joan Duru and the Italian stallion Leonardo Fioravanti. It should be a good clash. Two heavy 3 times last year. He went 18 points plus. And here he goes now, trying to get things started. Pacing himself at the moment, waiting for this wall to stand up. Has thrown down some huge airs here in the past on the lefts, and this wave just does not provide man to beat. But Joan Duru, he's been causing some headaches for the world's best throughout the season, and he's going to kick off this heat with a decent ride. A silky air reverse, a couple of added points to finish that wave off, but impressive to see Joan Duru.
Right here, look at this. Wave number 2 in the set, much cleaner wall. This angle of lefts was perfect. Both these waves had steep wall all the way through, and you can see a unique difference, really, from some of the lefts we've seen today. This was a nice steep face for both these surfers. The unfortunate thing for Filipe is that this set came first wave of the set, so you have all the ripples from the northwest wind, so a little bit more difficult to surf. Joan Duru's wave, much smoother, a lot easier to surf, competing at this level. Of course, just coming up a little bit shy, but now been able to get those good close heat wins. He's looking good right out of the gates here too.
He sure is. A 6.67 on wave number 1. His second ride's going to amount to next to nothing. He goes down.
There can be nerves that come with playing in front of crowds or surfing or competing in front of crowds. You know, what's that energy like playing music?
I probably get more nervous going up to play music in front of people than I do here or going surfing. I've done this a lot more, but yeah, it's kind of fun to be able to test yourself mentally and be like, okay, sometimes music will have beer or something.
Here we go, movement out the back with 16.5 minutes to go. Filipe heading left again. Just chucks that tail into reverse, but Filipe taking off on a small insider without priority, willing to take a chance on this one. And he just links together 3 beautiful hits. So making something out of nothing here.
I'm not going to go on this one. He's turned this into a score. And that's because he's able to do those types of moves with limited speed. I mean, those were all 3.
Super agile, really light-footed when he needs to be. And let's go some pretty decent turns. Joan with a better-looking set wave. Takes a fall. Leo on the left. He links it through to the inside and gets a pretty solid finish. So these angles,
these come from the other side. We're going to look at it, into it this angle. But you're right. When it's going to look steeper. Right here, you're looking into this wall. It doesn't look as steep. And those turns there look probably pretty good when you look at it straight on. And no, not bad. It's just the angle here.
It is a huge opportunity, so make sure you get involved. Start putting those videos together as we see the replay of Leo's last ride from that different angle we were talking about, Pete.
And watch the finish. Gets loose, pulls it off clean.
8.5 minutes to go. Filipe, he's chasing a 7.9. He's got some speed. He's going to take to the air. Nice big grab roll there. And then out onto the open face and just slides out, mixing it up with each and every move so far. This is on its way to being a very solid number. More opportunities to collect points down the line.
Wow.
He's still going.
Wow.
What kind of finish can he get on the inside here? Right there on the rocks behind him. Joan Duru whips his board up into the lip. Carving down through the pocket now. So the conditions seem to be improving.
That mid-tide.
A bit of more consistency in the sets at the moment, which we like. Joan Duru's certainly liking it. He needs a pretty decent number. We might see a lead change here. Filipe was after a 7.9.
I must say, Filipe, I mean, you saw it coming, telegraphed it from the very beginning of the wave. First, we're going to take a look at Joan Duru on the back end. And he looked good on this one too. A good angle of approach, changing each and every time. Out the face, carves, snaps, vertical hits. So good variety on the back end, which he's been able to showcase. The wave slows up here, but it's going to be another good wave for Duru. So he has 2 solid waves. And if you look at Filipe, too, he only has 1 real solid score of the 7, and this is his second. And you would think that needing a 7.9, that this is probably going to get there. The big forehand air, frontside grab, then straight into an arc. So beautiful, 2 different styles of maneuvers. The air to a big wrapping carve, and then still holding his speed all the way through this inside section, and he just kept at it. But I mean, already the meat of the score has been done with this 2 maneuvers on the outside, the big frontside air. But cleaning it up all the way onto the rocks is always nice too.
We've seen the replay of that big air, getting that tail up, tweaking it out. The score is in, and it is solid, well rewarded. So much variety on this wave, Pete.
And just to have the combo of this style of surfing, which is a very mean arc, just lays in.
A response that I've seen all morning. You know, Leonardo was surfing a good heat, had those 2 7s and you know, on those lefts and surfed well. But Filipe set it up with the 7 on a wave that was most probably a 3. The wave he got, the 3 turns he did on that wave to get the 7, that wave didn't have it in it. It was just sheer brilliance, and his performance level that created the 7. And then you knew as soon as he got on a good wave, massive scores were going to drop, and he did just that on that.
They want to fade. They want to get that first big turn in on the outside. He seems way more intent on just collecting as much speed as he can before he digs in. We've got Leonardo up at the moment, finding some really smooth flow as he rolls through to the inside, letting go of some nice rail turns. Needs to up the risk factor, and he does it on the end of his wave.
Wave here from Fioravanti was a solid wave. I mean, he surfed this wave really well. You know, the entire heat he's actually been handling himself. I don't know if it's going to go 8-8-1, but I mean, 3 solid moves on the outside. And he cleans it up well, too. He gets to the finish. But, I mean, Filipe is just so amazing that it's hard to beat him.
It is. And I think that surfing, you just want to be putting up solid numbers when you come up against guys like this. As we see Filipe up once again, a little behind on this one, but he's back out in front now and applying some pressure to the tail before releasing, exploding out of the pocket there with a nice reverse. Throwing his entire board back towards the beach. So he's trying to get rid of a 7 there.
Take a look here again. You know, you're mentioning a little caught behind, didn't get quite the flow through it, but somehow gets that open face and lays into a beautiful turn there. But see how quickly he comes around. I mean, he landed backwards on the nose of his board, and his footwork to get back to the tail pad and get into position to do maneuvers on the inside is incredible.
He only needed an 8.8, but he's narrowed the requirement after an 8.21 now as Joan Duru goes to the air once again. What a great heat. The Frenchman, he's after a 9.04. But we are still waiting on a score to come through for Filipe, which might make that tow maybe won a couple of earlier heats today. But here we go on the replay. He's got a high success rate with that turn.
He does. It's a little you know, the difference being is that, you know, a guy like Filipe, when you're doing how quickly he's in and out of those moves, you know, Joan.
As you said, a healthy heat score total from all surfers. Filipe Toledo with the best of them. More big heats coming your way up next. Connor O'Leary.